What's up, everybody?
Oh.
Fuck!
Oh, jeez. Oh, God.
Well, we missed our theme song. What's up, everybody? So, we're back with you this week. We got a little treat for your ear holes. Yeah, you get to hear us talk about a thing that we did. So, a few weeks, maybe a month or two ago now. I don't know how long ago.
I think over a month ago at this point.
Yeah, it was a while ago. I don't know what a month is anymore, but
Yeah.
it was a nautical month. Slightly normal.
A fort month.
A fort month. Yeah, but one of those ago, we started a beautiful segment based on an old thing Trey and I used to do, Dan's Dumpster Fire. Tyler, roll the audio. The audio. There it was.
I pointed at the screen.
Man, what a good song.
Yeah. But yeah, so we did that, and I think it's time we can all come together and reflect on what we had to watch. It sounds across the board pretty middling, except I hated mine.
I hated Super Drags, but I just don't have a lot of opinions about it. That's the thing. Like, I'm a very opinionated person. It's just such a okay, here's the thing about Super Drags, and it's the same joke done a million times over 5 episodes. That's it. That's the whole thing. Like, you just...
Yeah.
Like,
was the show anything beyond, like, adult Powerpuff Girls?
No,
drag queens?
It's just adult Powerpuff Girls, but they're bad at their job and they're drag queens. And then they have, like, a gay episode where they're like, oh, I'm gay. And, like, dad's like, I don't like gay. You're go to gay camp where you're not gay anymore. And it's just so not good. It's just... Like, I don't think it's progressive because it's just so bad that
It, like, actively takes away from...
Yeah, like, it's like, it goes so far in, like, the, like, it's, like, so dystopian that you're like, man, is this actually saying that, like, LGBTQ is bad? Like, is that the message I should be getting from this? Like, just because, like... More often than not, they fucking kill people. Like, they're just not good at their jobs. And I'm like...
Jesus.
Yeah, like, just, like... Because, like, they'll, like, try and say... They'll, like, cause problems that get people killed. Or, like, they'll try and save people. And then one of the characters is to say something super, like, diva-ish. And then, like, while they're all talking about being diva, characters will just die. And I'm just like, man... Why? Like, it's just, that's it. Like, that's the whole show. It never gets more than that. I'm actually surprised they got 5 episodes out of it. I'm gonna be honest. Like, there's just not enough content to make this show anything.
Yeah, well, good.
Yeah, like, again, I wish I had more to say on the subject. Like, I guess, like, the animation was, like, bouncy. Like, I don't know what else to call it. It's like, it's
bouncy.
Not like you know how squash and stretches in animation, like,
oh yeah
characters move.
We've talked about it before.
People are the characters are very animated. I guess bouncy is a bad word, like not a great word to use in the show, but like characters move like it's very obviously a Flash show, and characters move very fluidly, like you know how like My Little Pony is a Flash show, but the animation's still pretty solid. It's like that.
Mm-hmm. Gross.
Yeah, it's a show you watch and you're like, I'm all for the cause, but man, this show makes me feel grody. Like, I don't know. Like, it's just
like, that's the thing, is the show to me almost felt more from the stuff I was watching. It almost felt more like a room full of straight white men or like straight white people just like wrote the show. It's like, this is what drag queens do, right?
Yeah, this is how drag queens would act if they were superheroes. They would just make everything super sexual. And I'm just like,
that sounds right.
Yeah, that sounds right. Like, everything just becomes a massive sex joke. That's what would happen. Like,
oh, goodness.
Like,
I mean, maybe I don't know enough about drag queens and stuff.
Yeah, like I don't watch RuPaul's Drag Race or anything. I don't watch, like, it's not a culture I'm in or like around. I have nothing against it. I have no opinions on it, really. I just am not around it enough to, like, really care. And, like, it's just, one, it's not a show that is made for me. So, like, that's the thing. Like, big caveats, this show is not marketed towards me. So, like, I feel like my opinion's not worth as much as a lot of people's. But it's just, like, I just thought it was badly made. I thought the message of the show was bad. I think if they were gonna make 3 gay superheroes that turn into like divas when they transform, I think that could have been actually done in a good way, like a way that wasn't just hot garbage. Because like I don't know, the whole effeminate gay character is just so tried at this point.
Yeah.
Like, it's just every gay character in any media is just he's gotta be super effeminate all the time, and I feel like that's just, like, I don't know, maybe I'm just tired of that. Again, I'm not gay, and I don't, like, and I'm not against gay media, so, like, I don't know, I'm just not the audience for this show, maybe, that's all I can say about it.
Yeah, but I'd almost wonder, like, how, like, I mean, again, I'm not on the LGBT spectrum, I don't know. Yeah,
that's right. Just another show recorded by 3 straight guys.
This is
Thank God.
You want your hey everybody, this is Trey. This is Trey here. As a straight man, I gotta tell you how much I hate super drags. Let me just everybody just pile on your opinions on the show that we have no real like. It's hard to criticize.
Yeah, I guess that's again maybe that was it. I was genuinely curious what the show, like, what it was. And it looks like it's just everything on the tin.
Yeah, it's mostly, it's like, it's literally, you saw the trailer, that's the show. It's just, it's very much a corporate Netflix decided to make a gay show. That's basically it. Like, they wanted to check the box of, like, we made a show for gays, is what it felt like.
Well, even then, they've made other ones, like...
Yeah, but they haven't made a show.
They've done it better.
Yeah, they have. Yeah. This is we've talked about this before. Netflix does this better all the time. Like, it's like 1 step forward and like 20 steps back with Netflix.
Yeah, no, geez. It's almost kind of interesting too. I didn't even realize all 3 of our shows are Netflix originals.
Yeah.
That we ended up watching.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I guess we can't really rag on Super Drags too much more. Was it worth the dumpster fire, Trey? Does it belong in the dumpster fire?
Oh, absolutely. The show is a hot, steamy dumpster pile. But with caveats of, like, if you are in the LGBT community and, like, this show resonated with you, I can't take that away from you. It's not on a spectrum that I can relate to, and I think that kind of colored my opinion of it. So that's
yeah. And again, it almost feels like if the show, again, was in a more thing, I almost feel like the show would be offensive.
Yeah, like, and this is, like... it felt to me, and again, my opinion is bad on this, it felt offensive to me. Like, I was kind of getting offended watching it, and I'm not, it's not in my strata, and I was getting a little, it's like, man, I can't tell if this is, like, trying to be irreverent of gay culture, but it feels like it is, and that's just making me feel a little bit gross.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but yeah, so how did you like your show, Tyler?
All right, so my show that I had to watch was Big Mouth, specifically Season 2, which I did. I did not watch Season 1. I still have not watched Season 1.
Let me lead with this. Has watching Season 2 given you any desire to go watch Season 1?
Not really, but I will say I didn't hate Season 2. I would not say it was a complete dumpster fire, but my main points on it is I'm confused about the audience for the show. Because
I had that same opinion of the first season.
Yeah. It seems like it is written as almost a modern take on, hey, since schools aren't doing sex ed right, this cartoon is going to do it. But also, I would say the show is not particularly designed for kids or for even necessarily puberty age kids. So I'm really not sure about that. The target audience just seems odd.
Yeah,
for the show. I mean, even then, it's rated TVMA. So, like...
Yeah, I had the same opinion of the first season, because I think I brought it up even, where I'm like, who's this show for? Because, like, anybody who's gone through puberty and watching it, like, the only thing you get out of it is, like, a weird nostalgia. You're like, I went through puberty. That sort of relates to me. That was awful, right?
Yeah. I was just saying, the show to me, it always just seems like, again, it just seems like it kind of relies on gross out humor, and I know this is something Trey brought up too. It is oddly sexualizing children.
Yeah,
Yes.
and in the
And
context of
agree.
the show, I guess it makes sense because, like, obviously they're going through puberty, and part of that is sex. Like, that's just the unavoidable. Like, you don't want to think about children, like grade schoolers, like having sexual feelings towards each other, but like that's sort of the condition, I guess. Like, that's just. But at the same time, I don't want to watch that. That's not what I want to be. I don't want to spend my time looking at a bunch of 13-year-olds like lusting after each other. That's not how I want to be spending my time.
Yeah, especially with those gross. I think the character design of the show is
giant
stupid.
gross
I hate
faces.
It. I hate
Yeah,
it.
like those like as told by ginger looking ass kids. Like
Yeah.
it's
So to continue on a little bit though with it, I think there's just a couple characters that I really, really hated in the show, and that kind of detracted from it. One of which is one of the kids, I think his name is Jay, who apparently just wants to like hump everything.
I hated him. He has one of the worst subplots in season 2.
Yeah.
Or season 1, sorry.
I mean, he barely is there in season 2. Like, he's basically just there occasionally, and he's like, yeah, I'm humping another thing, and then that was it.
Good joke. That's stellar comedy writing.
I know. So his character was just not there. And I also don't like, there's Coach Steve, also, who I did not like his character. But then again, it could just be me not finding the character of somebody who is completely incompetent at everything somehow to be an interesting or funny character at all. So I don't know. It's I really didn't like that, and it seemed to almost imply that he had some sort of mental illness or mental deficiency which caused him to be the way he is, yet they were treating him as a humor character, like he was there for humorous effect, and I do not like that at all. But now for some of the more positives. Well, one thing, I mean, it really depends on you. It's a very liberal show.
Yeah.
I mean, I think everybody knows that going in. Like, you're probably not going to watch it if you don't care for the media, which is one reason why they did a whole episode. It's specifically called the Planned Parenthood show in that episode, where they just talked about Planned Parenthood and all the positives and stuff for it. And I thought that was pretty cool. But at the same time, I don't think anybody's going to be watching particularly that far in the show who doesn't already...
True, like, who's
Agree.
that? It's
Like,
again the question...
preaching to their choir.
Yeah, it's again the question of, like, who's this show for? Because, like, yeah, I'm fairly liberal, but, like, I also support Planned Parenthood, so, like, are we just wanking ourselves off now? Is that, like, the point of this? Like, is this supposed to be an informative show? Because, like, right-wing people aren't watching this, like...
I was gonna say, can I show this to like super conservative family members and just be like, yeah, here's the argument for Planned Parenthood. It's this TV show.
Yeah, and then like the puberty monster's gonna come out and say something super racy, and they're gonna be like, Dan, what the hell are you doing with your life?
Actually, I think the puberty monster the puberty monsters weren't even really in that episode as much.
Really? Okay, because they were a major part of like the entire first season.
Also, it really nails down some of the uncomfortableness about the show, which is like they were like running around in some like vagina-shaped like ship, and they got out, and like this little girl had like a laser blaster, and then like these evil like dude ones had these like dick-shaped laser blasters that they were pointing at this little girl, and I'm like, that's very uncomfortable.
It's like
I don't like that.
Why are we doing this? Can we not?
That
it has a lot of very uncomfortable parts, but it also has some decent parts. I think one of my favorite things actually of the show was this character that I think was introduced in the second season called the Shame Wizard, who actually, if anything, had the most interesting arc of any of the characters.
Really?
And he was in some ways more of a back character, side character. Well, not really side character. He appears in a ton of the episodes. But the whole thing is he just kind of like, I don't know, just nags you on all the things you're ashamed of and makes you focus on them. And kind of towards the end of the episode, like, or the end of the season, all the kids realize, hey, we're all like seeing the Shame Wizard, and he's kind of a dick. And so the Shame Wizard kind of gets also his own thing where like everybody's kind of realized his shtick, and they all have kind of moved away from him, and so now he's kind of like, well, what's my purpose now? Like, what am I gonna do?
Yeah. Who am I gonna shame?
Who shames the shame wizard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fun.
And there's some musical elements. I actually think the music is pretty well done. Even the opening theme is very good.
There was some musical numbers in the first season that were actually pretty okay too. Like I didn't like the first season, but there were still parts I enjoyed of it. It wasn't like it was a decently made show. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
But like,
so
Yeah.
my thing is, was it a dumpster fire? No, I don't think so. I don't think I'd call it a dumpster fire. But is the show confusing in a lot of ways? Yes. Like, I would just love to sit down with the people who make it and be like, who is this show for? Like, when you make this, because, like, there's gotta be a target audience for this show, right? Like, who is the target audience for this show? Like,
no, it's... I don't know. To me, again, the whole show, it's kind of, like, grossly confusing and...
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess in that respect, they got puberty right, I suppose. But, like, again, like, I don't want to watch that. That's not a show. I don't want to, like, relive puberty. That sounds terrible. And but people who are going through puberty aren't going to be watching this because it's very obviously an adult show. So, like, I don't know. I really don't.
Yeah.
It seems to me, it feels like the show is almost just trying to hit, like, the Family Guy crowd.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're probably right. It's probably what, like, it's like the Family Guy audience.
Yeah, like, stunted man children, for lack of a better word.
Yeah, and, like, and then they're going to be like, oh, I went through puberty. I can relate to that.
Yeah. And I will say, honestly, the show touches on a lot of really important topics, I think, particularly for teenage audiences.
Yeah.
The issue is, it's not particularly made for them.
Yeah, I would have liked it, like, personally, I would have liked it if they'd, like, toned down the raciness a little bit to make an actual show for, like, adolescence. Like, make a show that's, like, legit informative to adolescence while also being ostensibly a comedy show. Like, I wouldn't care if they took out a little bit of the racy stuff, because, like, honestly, it wasn't doing the show any favors anyway.
Yeah.
Well, and honestly, I think a lot of that, and I can kind of talk about it in my show too, but I think a lot of time it's just Netflix flexing, like, hey, we can do this since we're not a network.
Yeah.
And I've been saying that even since, like, Orange is the New Black days, where they're just like, oh, man, we wrote, like, this really cool scene, and then we just put a bunch of, like, tits and lesbian sex scenes in it. Because, you know,
we can.
Buy a Netflix account, because we can.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Just the humor ranged also from the whole, like, spectrum of incredibly off-putting to actually really funny in this show. And I don't know, I've not really watched many other shows that were that same just thing where it can be such a good and entertaining show at some points, and then just, I, like, at some points just wanted to stop watching it, like, and never pick it up again. And honestly, there's a few points where, honestly, if I wasn't watching it for Dumpster Fire, I might have just stopped
that's
watching
kind of the thing. It's just, if a show, my kind of thing, if a show can't grab you, then there's not a point to watch it.
Well, my other issue was particularly the first couple episodes of the second season were just, they didn't capture me. And then it was later on in the season that I finally started getting into the show a little bit.
Yeah.
But the issue is, it really pushed me away at several points in those first couple episodes that I really didn't want to continue.
Yeah, and I mean, again, that's kind of a thing for me. It's just like from like premise to all of that. I always am kind of on the fence, and I've had a lot of people like recommend this show to me, like people who I understand their comedic taste, and I love a lot of the comedians in this show, like. John Mulaney's one of my favorite comedians. I'm just like, I can't.
Yeah, and like, I obviously the reception's been fairly positive of the show. So like, obviously
they get a lot of nerd
right?
culture stuff in there too. Like, one of the characters who like dreams about Nathan Fillion, and so of course they have Nathan Fillion in there.
Ah, good.
Just as a character, as himself.
Good. But yeah, no, sounds like you had at least time. This one sounds like it claws its way to the top of the dumpster. It barely. It gets to sit on the lid of the dumpster.
It's king of the dumpster.
No, you know what this is? This is this show. It's the furniture that's sitting like next to or on top of the dumpster.
Yeah,
if you want, you can pick it up. Yeah, you can furniture pick it. You can dumpster pick it.
Yeah, you could refurbish it. You could see yourself using that.
For some people. Yeah, I think that makes sense for this show. Does that sound about right, Tyler?
Yeah.
No, Dan.
Okay, let me. Get a notebook.
No, Dan.
I took literal notes.
No, Dan.
I literally took pages of notes.
Paint me a picture.
Let me lead with this. So I had to watch Paradise PD. Brickleberry was a show I watched both seasons of. Because the show is Brickleberry. Let me lead with that.
It is. Absolutely Brickleberry.
And Brickleberry was very middling. Let me lead. I'm about to nail Paradise PD to the fucking wall. This show is the...
Please do. I've watched it. It's not good.
This is actually, I actually think this is like degrading to television. The fact that this has already been cleared for a second season just shows that Netflix doesn't give a shit anymore.
Yep.
Like, let me lead. Tyler, have you watched Paradise PD yet?
No.
Tyler, the first joke that this show does is you get to see a kid voiced by I don't even give a shit about his name. He's Frond from Bob's Burgers, and he is, he's the lead character, the lead park ranger from Brickleberry. And those are his big roles. The first joke the show does is him pulling out his gun, shooting his dad in the balls, which you get to see animated, cock and balls, by the way. Literally the first joke of the show.
Oh, okay.
The first
and it's
joke.
also, it's like, first joke. And it's downhill from there.
Yep. It never figures it out.
Like, okay, because my thing is, I think the two absolute lowest forms of comedy, and maybe I'm a snob, but are just like shock value gross out comedy. Like, we animated a dick. Isn't a dick helicopter funny? Like anything that I would have laughed at in junior high. And reference comedy. Just like the Family Guy style, like, oh, hey, look, it's that guy who ran for mayor. It's Mayor de Blasio.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Mayor de Blasio.
Reference humor is the actual worst. Like, it's just...
Yeah.
The idea that it's funny because there's a guy who you know in it, that's the only thing that makes it funny. Like, come on. Like, what?
You gotta do something in addition to that.
Like maybe okay, so this is a stupid random example, but like Adam West in Fairly Odd Parents was hilarious because he was a goddamn psychopath in that show. Like, it's like, oh, it's TV's Adam West and he fucking lives in a fucking cat house. Like, it's
I'll take Adam West from Family Guy is funny because it's like
he's the mayor.
Adam West voicing himself as a mayor who's like, we lost this man to the ocean, now I'm gonna stab the ocean. Die, ocean, die.
He's just crazy. That's good referential humor because like you're like taking that character and then making him more than just like he exists in the real world, ergo funny. Like, the bad reference is when they're just like walking around and it's like, oh man, they look like they got beat. Man, they look like Rihanna after stopping at a gas station with her ex-boyfriend. I was like, that's not funny. That's a thing that happened. It's like,
good job. You pointed out.
Good job. Nobody's made that joke before.
Yeah. Let me just run down some other laundry lists. Oh, yeah, we've got, you know what, it's funny, old gay man. That's a funny thing because he old and gay, except for sometimes not gay. Tom Kenny, why did you do this? You had enough SpongeBob money, you could have said no.
You could have. You could tell he was having a good time, though. Like,
oh, I'm sure he had fun. I like to think that, like, he signs to do these because from voicing SpongeBob, where he can't say like a swear anything over G-rated.
Yeah, so
he just does this so he can shout the phrase.
Yeah,
he can just shout the phrase, man, I'm so upset my pansy-ass son has such a limp-ass dick when I can't even have two balls to make my dick work anymore. That's a line from the show.
Cheap comedy. Maximum comedy.
Yeah, that was the punchline. You know what there was? There was like a 3-minute setup to that punchline.
Oh, goodness.
Maximum comedy.
Kyle Kinane, come on, Kyle Kinane, I'm really glad you said yes to this so you at least can have some money. So now, at least when you die, it'll say former star of Paradise PD, Kyle Kinane, instead of guy who used to voice over Comedy Central intros and outros, Kyle Kinane.
Congrats.
Yeah, oh my god. Again, everything that I think makes me mad about the show, I kind of already said. It's gross out humor. The characters are all not characters.
They're just stereotypes, really.
They're not even stereotypes. This is also another cop show. This is a complaint I've kind of lodged against Brooklyn Nine-Nine too, to a lesser extent, is that these characters are stereotypes, but not of like relatable things.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
And I think because I recently watched through all of Brooklyn Nine-Nine and. Because I kind of had that same apprehension at first, but like I think what they do is it leans so hard into it, these not being real people, that it just becomes funny after a bit. At least to me, I thought that show was hilarious because none of these people would exist in the real world, like at all. But like,
yeah,
I think these ones are just like we're just stupid. We're just gonna lean super hard into those stereotypes in a dumb sense.
Yeah, and it's like Brooklyn Nine-Nine, has also had seasons to grow. But, like, this one, they've made it clear they're not going to develop their characters. It's like, oh, man, what's a stereotypical character I know from, like, a workplace or old cop movies? Like, you have, like, young blood recruit, rookie hard-ass, smooth black cop. Those are old stereotypes. Those are real things. Yeah. Like, stereotypes, I mean. What's not a stereotype is abandoned, hillbilly, very violent cop who literally murders people all the time.
Yep.
And is also has a fat person fetish and sexually assaults her coworker because
all the time.
That's funny.
He's fat, so it's funny.
Yeah. Oh, and let's not forget the classic guy takes a. Oh my god! I think the episode of joke that made me the most angry was the fat cop takes a DNA test and finds out he's like 1/32nd Cherokee or something, which is a joke.
Yeah, which has been done before.
Yeah,
but
that joke has been beaten to death. Let me lead with that. Just the white guy finds out they're this, so then they start dressing up in a headdress and are super racist. And then you want to know how it turns out he was 1/32nd Native American. Tyler, you want to take guesses? It's because the restaurant he ate at. Man, I'm gonna have to put the biggest not safe for work warning before this episode. I'm just realizing with everything we talked about. The literal punchline of the joke is he eats at a restaurant all the time, sends the food back, so the Native American cook jizzes in his sandwich, and he eats there 6 times a day. That's why he's 1/32nd Native American in a blood test. That's not how a blood test works.
No.
Oh, and this was also you got to see him chant. Now it's time for Chief. Whatever he calls himself, something racist.
Something racist and also fat shaming at the same time, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, and then again, in the episode, the show does this. 2 last things that I have to crucify this show for. One, don't you dare point out in universe that you're copying your own show.
Oh yeah, they did because there's 2 characters who are literally just copy pasted from that show.
From Brickleberry.
The 2 hillbillies who are just literally the same characters from Brickleberry, who of course bring up the fact that Brickleberry exists.
No, it's when the one lead character is talking to the guy in a coma and he's like, hey, park ranger. It's like, no, that's not Brickleberry. We're police officers and they're cops. And they're park rangers. It's totally different. I was like, that's the laziest joke, and you're just admitting you're recycling ideas. And got another season.
Yep, people enjoyed it enough for 2 seasons, or Netflix just gives money out to anybody who asks. I guess one of those 2.
Yeah.
Both of those options are bad, by the way. It's not.
This show to me is just Netflix.
Things that are good.
Yeah. Like Daredevil season 3. I mean, Disney obviously.
I think there's a different thing there. But
still, there's good shit that they don't renew, and then there's this. This is the reason that Annihilation was too smart for American audiences. This is it. This is the reason.
Yeah, this is it. This is, and then oh my god.
The part where he has the part where he falls in love with his car. Remember that episode? Remember how great that episode was?
Oh no. Okay, yeah. That's whatever. That's a stupid joke. Guy fucks his car.
Except for that's the whole episode.
Yeah, it's fine. This is the last one. The show has the balls to try and be woke in one episode.
Yes.
Or try to poke fun at no, let me lead in. Basically the whole thing is the black cop accidentally shoots himself in a mirror. So it just shows
that. Yeah, that was so dumb.
Yeah. So the show just plays the thing at CNN reports it as the bias of innocent black man shot in the street. Fox News reports as black thug tries to kill police officer. And the show has the balls to do this gross, stupid humor every episode, but then do this episode where they're like, really guys, the media just likes to whip people into a frenzy.
Yeah.
And try to tongue-in-cheek and play it.
Yeah. The worst part to me about that is that if it a show like BoJack had handled it, I think that actually could have been a funny setup because I think the setup for the joke actually wasn't terrible. It's just the fact that this show has no right to do that joke. They have not earned a joke like that.
The show has no right. And do you know what the punchline of this 30-minute setup is? They end up breaking the American news cycle by dressing up as a, oh god, I'm gonna miss things here, a feminist transgender Nazi giving a free abortion to a gay married man transgender. It's like they basically do this thing. It's literally the worst. They're just like, yeah, we don't know how to spin this bias because it involves so many things. Yeah, basically, again, the show has the balls to be stupid for 9 episodes and then try to play it being woke for one episode, and I'm just like, no, you don't. It's again, I think this is one of the worst TV shows that's been made recently, at least.
Yeah, I would agree with you, and I don't even know why I finished watching it. I just had it on, and I didn't feel like not watching it because I like Brickleberry. I genuinely enjoyed it. I don't even know. I feel bad as somebody who I consider myself decently critical about a lot of things, but that was Brickleberry was a guilty pleasure, and then I watched Paradise PD, and I wanted so badly for it to be the same, I guess. I wanted to be to just be more Brickleberry, and then I found it, and then I realized I'm man, this is way worse. But then it retroactively started thinking I don't think it is. I think it's just as bad, but I like the characters less somehow.
Yeah, I'll say at least Brickleberry had the network limiters on it. So again,
yeah, I think they had to be smarter because of that.
Yeah, and Daniel Tosh is fine.
Yeah, he has funny bits every once in a while.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is him playing the sarcastic little bear cub. That's fine. Kyle Kinane playing a randomly coked up drug sniff. Also, the fact that the drug sifting dog for the police force is addicted to drugs, that joke has been done literally hundreds of times.
Yeah. Is funny joke.
Yeah.
I will say, since you mentioned Daniel Tosh, I don't think I have ever liked anything that he has made.
Well, then you would hate these shows.
Yeah, I think I would.
Well, Daniel Tosh didn't make Brickleberry.
No,
he's not in it all. Yeah,
no,
you'd hate these shows.
It's definitely his brand of humor, though.
Yeah, if he's involved in it, then it probably falls into that thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway.
No, he's very.
I would say
I'm not.
Avoid these shows like the plague, Tyler. I think you hate them.
I haven't sold you on Paradise PD. This is literally it's probably in my top 5 worst things I've ever watched. I think at this point. And the worst part is I know there's people out there who are gonna really like this show. I'm sure even people I know have been oh yeah, I watched it and it's gonna be so good. I can think of one person in particular.
Yeah, not naming any names.
Not naming any names. Yeah, they'd be oh, it's so good. I'm I think to sum it up, I have a quote from a writer, producer, creator of a show, one of my favorite shows ever, Gravity Falls. Alex Hirsch has been quoted saying this: "Remember, guys, if you don't think your idea is creative enough, if you think if you don't think you'll ever make it, if you think that other people's ideas are just better and are going to get picked over yours, Brickleberry got 2 seasons. You can do it."
Anything is possible.
Yeah. So
the sky's the limit.
So on a rating from whatever to dumpster fire,
this belongs at the bottom of the dumpster. This dumpster needs to go in a second dumpster. Lit that dumpster on fire. This is, again, I am angry at myself that I made myself do this too. This was me doing this to me as well.
Yes, you're the one who put that in the running.
Yeah.
So 10 dumpster fires out of 5. Got it.
Yeah, this
Actually,
is the dumpster slurry at the bottom.
No, this is fucking that trash island floating out in the Pacific on fire.
Oh Lord!
All right. So we have a little more time here, and we haven't done this in a while.
Yeah.
So I have another game of ill compute ready for you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, let's do that. I like that.
Put that hot music.
We live in a computer simulation. Ill compute.
Pew, 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 pew. Ill compute, whatever. Anyway.
Yeah. That's my shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the shit.
Yes.
So for any of you dumpster goblins who haven't heard previously, Ill Compute is our little game show here on geez, why am I blanking? Low Effort Podcast. My goodness, it's late at night, guys. where basically I pick games that are very poorly rated and received, and also just randomly generate titles, and see if these guys can guess the difference. So, is it a game of ill repute, or a computer-generated title? Starting with Feudal Escape.
That's
Real
real.
Escape.
No, actually, I'd go back. That's not real.
I think that is real.
Feudal Escape is not real.
Yeah,
shit,
Dan
yeah.
gets a point.
And of course, all of these not real titles, I had to double check and make sure that they were not real games.
They were not
'Cause
real games.
some
Yeah.
of them very well could be. Yeah, no, Feudal Escape is not a real game. Yeah, I thought it
Surprisingly.
turned- Yeah.
Yeah, who'd have thunk?
All right, next on our list is The Unknown City.
The Unknown City. I
The
think
Unknown
I've heard
City?
of that one. I think that's real. I think because it sounds
I'm
really
gonna
familiar.
also say real.
Okay, yes, it is real.
Yeah,
I think I saw that in one of my I think one of my YouTubers ended up playing that game.
I was gonna say, is it one of the ones in your library, Trey?
No, it's not. But I have a YouTuber who plays a lot of bad games, and I think he played the Unknown City at one point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I branched out a little bit. This one I actually found on the Microsoft App Store.
Ooh.
Oh boy.
It was by a company called Yash Future Tech Solutions Private Limited.
That's like a Chinese shell company inside three more
that's
shell
a-
companies.
That is not a real. That's a
Yeah.
yikes.
It had the subtitle Horror Begins Now ... Episode 1.
Horror.
no.
Oh, I know
Yeah.
Horror Begins. I know Horror Begins Now. I've seen
Yeah.
that game.
Yeah. So apparently it's intended to be part of a maybe trilogy of episodes. I don't know
Yeah,
if they
Horror
ever
Begins
good.
Now is. It's one of those asset flip like open world
Yeah.
like zombie games, right?
Well, to
Or, like-
summarize the story, based on their description, kidnapped girl cop is wife of other cop.
so progressive.
So progressive. So yeah, that is The Unknown City.
That's it. That's the whole description.
No, I cut a lot out, but
Oh, okay.
it was all equally bad. I just found that one
Yeah,
sentence to
kidnapped
be
girl cop is wife of.
So brave.
So brave.
It all had the sound of like very much translated to English and poorly.
Yeah, like
Yeah, again, it's some Chinese shell company.
Yeah.
like Chinese or Russian. It's one of
one
those
of the
two,
two,
guaranteed. Guaranteed.
All right. So moving on to our next game, Vigil Blood Bitterness.
Vigil Blood Bitterness. Oh man, that's a toughie. That's a toughie. Because
I'm
like
gonna say
that's
real. I'm gonna say real.
I'm gonna say not real.
That game is real. It is
Yeah!
on Steam.
Honestly, it sounded real, but like man, like I didn't want it to be real.
Yeah. It's It is.
2 for Dan, 1.
Apparently,
Three
it
for
wasn't so
Yeah.
outrageously bad because I did not write a lot of notes on here. It's apparently made by some company called, I think, Free Gamer. And from what I remember, the art style looked interesting, but apparently it was really bad to play. So, yeah. Vigil Blood Bitterness for you.
Check
I think
her
it
out.
might have also been the one that people complained about because I guess you like bought the game and it was basically like linking you to a place to really buy the game.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
not,
Like
that's
buying
not
it from
cool.
the Steam store, or
Yes.
ooh,
Although
that's
they might have
dirty.
fixed that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like
I don't know.
it
There's-
sounded bad.
There's games in the Steam store that if you buy them, they don't have the executable files. So like,
Yeah.
that's a Steam quality control for you.
Yeah, never mind. Let's
Exactly.
make sure they never have to have competition and improve.
Yeah.
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 Granted, I love it because man, every other platform makes it so difficult to find bad games on. Like
Not Steam.
Yeah.
not Steam, but like the App Store like tries to bury that shit. The Apple App Store and the Microsoft one is not great for finding bad games, and a lot of the other ones like only let you sort by most popular, not least.
Mhm.
So, or they don't have an easy way to get to the end of the most popular list.
Yeah, which I can kind of understand.
And I don't want to scroll for a week. So,
Yeah.
no, yeah, I get it, but man, I just want to find bad games. I'm sorry, guys. Like,
Yeah, what the hell? What the hell, other places? What if I want to play bad games? As an American, I have
my
right.
rights.
Yeah.
I know my rights. Anyway, what else you got for us,
all right,
Tyler?
our next game here is Hellhole of Bantam.
Hellhole of Bantam.
That's got to be fake.
I think that's fake.
That is fake.
Yay!
Okay, yeah. Mostly because Bantam is too creative for the
Yeah,
name for...
Bantam, I mean, because my generator pulls only real words,
Yeah.
Bantam is apparently a type of chicken.
Okay, never mind.
chicken.
Can I retroactively change? I think it's real now.
I hope it's real. With my heart of hearts.
knowing it's fake, I want it to be real.
Yeah, and actually the generator originally gave me Hellholes of Bantams, but I sometimes slightly adjust these. I actually almost always slightly adjust these, but
Yeah.
because computers aren't always that smart.
Yeah, I mean,
All
yes,
right.
computer overlords.
So we got just a few more games here. Afternoon Empire.
That's real.
Yeah, real? Yeah, I think real.
That is real. You guys are getting better at this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, because, like, some of these sound familiar, because, like, I sometimes browse bad game things.
Yeah. Maybe next time on Ill Compute, I might bring something other than games. We'll see.
Ooh. Oh, that's exciting. I like that.
Play visual fucking light novel names.
Oh my god, light novel names, please. You're gonna have to upgrade your generator though, because it has to be 2 paragraphs
Minimum
long.
word count 19. Anyway, what else you got? Let's bang these out. I'm winning.
All right, yeah,
Trey's
so
going down.
Afternoon Empire, just to give it a little bit of description, it's on Steam by some company called Red Rider, and it wasn't very clear, but it called it a click game.
Like a clicker?
Oh, like a
game?
clicker?
I'm
Yeah.
assuming clicker.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely like some Asian game studio or person who made it. All right, moving on to our next one, Dive Tycoon.
I don't think that's real.
Dive Tycoon.
I know my tycoons. I don't think that one's real.
I'm about to go with Dan on that one. I don't think that's real.
That is not real, although I
Yeah.
was really hoping that it would be, and that...
Yeah, I mean, Dive Tycoon, I could see
Just
that being
scuba
a game.
tycoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I just really wanted Guy Fieri to be involved.
Oh, Guy Tycoon. I thought you were saying Dive
No,
Tycoon.
Dive.
Yeah.
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 Or maybe just Diner Driving and Dive Tycoon.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Triple D Tycoon.
Triple D Tycoon. Oh, my. All right.
That'd be a very different. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
That's a risky title.
Yeah. All right, and World of Leaders.
World of Leaders.
Wait, leaders like Leade or leaders like the measurement that Canadians use?
Like Leaders. Yeah.
Okay.
World of Leaders. I'll say real.
I'm going to say fake to keep it interesting.
Okay, that is fake. Or real, sorry.
Yeah.
Dan's
Sorry,
too
real.
good at this today.
I'm on
Real.
fire.
I think I accidentally said fake. It's real.
Oh! Suck
Sorry.
it, Dan!
All right, well,
It's by
I
some
think
company
you're still in
called
the lead, though.
Eversim.
yeah, I got a point on you.
Because I'm just bad at hosting this, I guess, too. Yeah, some company called Eversim. It looks terrible. All of the, images and stuff look like stock photos, or
Oh,
sometimes just, photos of real people, but, put through funhouse mirrors. They
God.
definitely just straight up used Hillary Clinton's face.
Oh, jeez.
Quality.
Apparently, you can play as a, politician, artist, or journalist.
What?
I don't know. I don't get it. It doesn't seem great. I think they were trying to make it like an MMO type game, but it's ridiculous. Yeah, it's just stock photo of the game, and I think my favorite one in their little screenshots was one of just an American eagle as somebody's picture, and the character's name was Tom Bless. So
I
yeah,
like that. I like
goes
that a
to
lot.
show you the I had a really hard time telling if it was a very politically charged game, which it very well might have been.
Yeah. Or maybe they're just throwing things that people recognize.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just buy this. It has pictures.
Yeah. I don't know. It was a terrible game. But yeah, that's my list for this time on Ill Compute.
All right.
I had one honorable mention this time as far as things that my random generator came up with that I thought was pretty funny, but did not think would trick you guys, which was Slaw of Oddity.
Slaw of Oddity.
Which
Sounds like
I
a
just
weird
really
cooking
want
game.
that to be a title.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Slaw of Oddity.
Maybe I'll make it.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah,
you
there
should
you
make
go.
it. Go,
Yeah,
next,
some
you're
of
not-
these-
next, go to a game jam and be like, this is Slaw of Oddity.
We'll see if 10 years down the road or something, somebody listening to this is going to be like, oh, but that's a real game.
Yeah, wait, that's real. Slaw of Oddity? That was CD Projekt Red, man.
Yeah, CD Projekt Red. They got they got Keanu Reeves and they got who else is popular?
Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves. Aonu Reeves.
They cloned him several times.
Either way. Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
I think that's about an episode.
Yeah, that's a wrap.
Trey, get stomped into the dirt because I got a point on you. It means now you get to watch the entire second season of Paradise PD on repeat. It's my
Wait,
gift to
no.
you. Yep, that's
Wait,
what
no.
I heard.
Wait,
Yeah, when it
wait,
happens.
that's
Yep.
not- that's
That's
not-
it. All
wait,
right. All
wait,
right.
no, wait,
you heard it
wait.
here first. Dumpster Goblins,
God,
it's your boy,
please.
Dan. And we're signing off.
I
Get
hate
out of my
life.
house.
See you, Dumpster Goblins.